Recipe here. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to make menudo. There's many ways to make it, but today we're going to make it Alma's way. Make menudo is really easy, but does take 3.5 hours minimum to cook because we cook in the tripe. Let's dive in. So vamos a empezar. For this recipe, you're going to need 2 pounds beef tripe, 2 pounds of honeycomb, and 2 pounds beef feet. To clean the meat, you're going to need 1 cup of coarse salt, 5 limes, and half a cup of vinegar. To cook the menudo, you're going to need 6 liters of water, 1 can of hominy 6 pounds, 1 medium onions, 2 headed garlic, 4 bay leaves, 1 teaspoon all spices, and 1.5 tablespoons of salt. To make the broth, you're going to need 12 chiles California, medium size, a quarter of an onion, 2 garlics, 1 tablespoon of oregano, and 2 cups of hominy. Optional topping, so you're going to need onions, lime, cilantro, oregano, and chiles de árbol. Before we start, I wanted to mention something. You're going to need a big pot, but this one is still a little bit big, but you can get a little one, small one. This one is 11 inches wide and 8 inches long. Just to give you a heads up, because sometimes I know we don't have enough big pot, but also if you wanted to not make so many, you can also just cut it in half and you will need a smaller pot. So we're gonna start by preheating our water, medium heat. So we're gonna add 6 liters of water. So there is 2. It's one step that is really important to clean the tripe. 1 liter of water here, cold water, and then we're going to add half a cup of vinegar. That's the first step. We're just gonna put it in here as we go. It definitely takes a little bit of time to clean it, but also I wanted to mention, when I went to the store and I bought this one, they didn't have holes, so I bought it already cut. But it's better to buy the whole if you can, so that way you can take all the fat and the thing, because this one does have a funny smell. And I'm gonna teach you how to clean it, so that way we have the water and the vinegar there. This is because it kind of smell. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you don't wanna buy the honeycomb, just made 4 pounds tripe. I also too want to let you know, when you cut it, try to cut it maybe like 2 inches each piece, because it does reduce when it gets small. It's easy to buy it like that. Look, this is the hole, and then I already have some cut it here. I wanted to buy this one whole, but they didn't have it. But we're gonna start by teaching you now how to clean it. So I have my water here, and the part that's really important, because what I said before, this thing smells. So when we cook it and we don't want it to smell, you see this fat, all this fat, we're going to remove it. You cannot take as much as you can. This is fat, and when you cook it, this is the thing that's going to smell if you don't take it out when you cook it. So we don't want that. After we take this thing, let's see, we just do it like that, and then we're gonna put it in the water with the vinegar in the meantime. You don't have to leave it too long, but when you cook it, you should be done to take it out. You see, we just leave the meat. It's easy to take it out when you buy it whole than it is cut, in my opinion. And we're gonna go like that until we're done with every single one. I have my feet here, and I buy my feet with not the skin. You have the option to buy it with the skin or without skin. I usually like to choose the smallest piece, because sometimes they have really big piece. But most of the thing that I want is just the bones to give you a little bit of flavor. You see this thing? Because sometimes they do have hair. You can probably put it in the stove, so gonna keep the hair. But it's better to buy without the skins. And when I go and buy, I told them, hey, I just want like the bones. So when I went to the store, I did find this one. This is a honeycomb, and as you can see, this one does not have a lot of fat, which is good. Just have a little bit, but not really. It's pretty clean. As much, you see, very little has. But this one, you see how this one looks? It has kind of like that texture. So we're just gonna do like that again with this one. It doesn't seem to be very dirty needed. So we're just gonna cut it. Remember, I'm telling when you're gonna cut it, don't cut it too small, because it's gonna reduce when it cooks. It's gonna make small. So you see this spot, so I'm just, this will be what, like 3 inches. So what I'm gonna cut like maybe 1.5 inches. You see? So be big enough so when you eat it, it's not too big, but it's not too small. Okay guys, so I have already my menudo right there is clean, and this is how much fat I take it out. So this is all trash. So now that I have my menudo here clean with the, I'm just gonna drain it. I don't need this water. And we're gonna rinse it up first, this thing. Warm water, not hot, warm. So I'm gonna rinse my feet, and I'm gonna take my feet up here first. So I have my feet over here. It's mostly bones, which that's what I want the flavor. So I'm just gonna put it here. Then I'm gonna go back and clean my menudo well. This is like sometimes the feet that takes a little longer to cook. So we have rinsed our menudo with the first water. So we're gonna put it back in here. And the first thing, after we rinse a couple, I have some salt here. And this is 1 cup, but don't worry because we're gonna take it out. We're gonna squeeze it. So we can take all the bad things for the tripes until you don't feel no more longer the sauce. I'm gonna start first putting with a little bit, and I still have a little bit more here, so I'm gonna do a little more. So we're gonna do this thing like twice. This is very, very important that you have to use the coarse sauce. So because that's gonna exfoliate the meat. So I'm gonna rinse it one more time. I'm gonna put some water. So we're gonna return it back to our bowl, and we're gonna put the rest of the salt that we have here. And we're gonna do the same thing. So this is my second time cleaning my menudo. We still have the salt in there. I'm just gonna squeeze all my lines, and I'm gonna leave it with the skin tool there. And I have 5. We're gonna leave the lime so that kind of eliminate a little bit of smell. You can probably use a little less lime, but 5 be plenty. You can probably use maybe 3. Okay, so now we're going back again. We're just gonna squeeze it again for a couple minutes, maybe like 5 minutes. We do need to leave the menudo at least for 5 minutes in the lime. The smell is almost gone. It's gone. So now I don't need the limes anymore. I'm just gonna take this one out, and I'm gonna put more water. I rinse it out with warm water. So this is done now. So now it's ready to cook. This is kind of the hardest part probably that you're going to do by making the menudo. That and just waiting. I've been preheating my water. In the meantime, I was rinsing my menudo. I'm gonna start putting my menudo in my hot water. For now, you can put your timer for 3.5 hours, and then you can probably check your meat if the meat is soft enough, because this is definitely a little bit tough. So we're just gonna put it there. Just be careful because the water is hot. So now we're gonna start adding onions. My onion is medium size. We're not gonna cut it. We're just gonna a little bit like that so the flavor will be released. And I also have 2 headed garlics here. I just take a little bit of the skin pretty much in that, but we're gonna just leave the whole thing like that. I have 2 heads, but I'm leaving 2 garlics. So when I prepare for my broth, so I need 2 extra garlics. So, but you definitely need 2 heads. Okay, so we're just gonna take some of the skin. So now that I have my menudo, we're just gonna add my onion, 2 headed garlics, my 4 belly leaves, my teaspoon of all spices, and that's pretty much. And I'm gonna add my salt, 1.5 tablespoons. So that is 1/2 tablespoon. For now that we have everything cooking, we can just cover in medium heat. So I'm gonna be cooking it for right now for 2.5 hours before I add my hominy. Okay guys, so now since my meat has been cooking for a little while, it's time to start preparing my chili. For me, one of the best things that I find now to prepare the chiles is cut it with the scissor, because sometimes when you take the scissor you make up a big mess, and I don't like a big mess. So if you put it in a plate like that and then just take the seeds, so less messy. So we're gonna be doing it with every single one like that, and then as you can open it, you will see if it's not good or not. Sometimes not every chile is good. Sometimes it looks kind of like with dirt or whatever, so, and then you open it like that, so that way you know every chile is good. So I'm using chile California, but also you can use chile guajillo. The only thing that I find now, chile guajillo is a little bit more spicy than chile California. That's the only reason that I usually use more California. As you guys know, if you guys been following me, the way that I usually rinse my chile, I start by rinsing it outside first and then inside, like so I can, if there's any dirt in the chile, we'll be able to take it out. So I'll start by outside and then just do like really quick inside. So if there's any seeds, the seeds will come out. Okay guys, so I already cleaned my chile. I take the seed and wash it up, and now I'm just gonna hydrate it. And my meat has been cooking for 1 hour, so already released some of the flavor. And I have my chili here in this one, so it's already clean. So I'm just gonna take some of the broth because I wanted to preserve all the flavor. And I'm just gonna pull my plenty broth from here. One piece of meat went here, so I'm just gonna put it back in. I need the broth really hot. Cover my meat back again, and I'm just gonna rest my chili for a while. Even it's okay, they can cool down, so it'll be really hydrated. been cooking for 2 hours and a half, and I want you guys to see. I'm gonna use this one to take them out. I do gonna use it when I blend my chile, but I want to take it every single one now that I can see over here on top. But also I'm going to take the garlic, very careful so you don't burn yourself. And I also need to take my onion. I'm going to show you how the meat looks. You know, remember I do put on more water, but the water it does evaporate, and I don't want to add any more water, so that's what I tell you, to add plenty water. It still needs a little bit to cook. Still not done, but to this point we need to prepare our chile. Oh, and also I forgot to tell you that we need to take the belly leaves, so we put 4. The meat I kind of reduce a lot, so it's not like bunch of meat. I'm gonna cover back in, and I'm just gonna start blending my chile. And I have my 2 garlics there, so I'm gonna add it. 1/4 an onion. Put it in there. I have my tablespoon oregano. I'm just gonna put it in there. So the ones that I take for the menudo, I'm gonna blend it. I'm gonna just put it over here. The onion that I take for my menudos, couple garlics out of these ones. I don't need to add the whole thing, but definitely I'm gonna do at least half of it. And since this one has been cooking, it's very easy to peel. I'm gonna do at least half of one head. And you see, it's a little thick, that's good. I do want my broth with a little bit consistent, so I'm gonna put 2 cups ham in here, and I have the rest of my broth here, and I do gonna put it here so I can blend it really well. And my blender is a little bit big, but if you have more blender, you can do it in 2 batches. That doesn't have to be in a particular way, but that's all the ingredients that I need. I didn't give you exactly what kind of measure broth you need to put over here. I put plenty when I hydrate my chile, but if you a little bit is short and you think it's too heavy and you need a little bit more water for your blender, you can also go get some broth from your meat and then put as many as you need. That you use your judgment. I probably use like 2 cups here, 2 cups and a half. I didn't really measure. Okay guys, so I have my ham in here, and I'm just gonna rinse it out too. Just drain the water. I'm not going to use this water, and I'm just gonna put the holes and rinse it a little bit. I'm making menudo, I'm making it my way. Some places they make it a little bit different. Like sometimes they use hominy. Over here in United States, in California, most people seems to like it with the hominy. And where I grew up, they do not use the hominy, but I decided to use the hominy some people use. But if you don't want to use the hominy, you can just skip it. My meat has been cooking for 2 hours and a half, and this is how it looks to this point. If you decide to put the hominy, usually we wanted to cook the hominy for 1 hour, so we still need to cook it for 1 more hour. Be careful because this is really hot, so I'm just gonna use this one to put the hominy. And this is how it looks. Look, my meat is still definitely needs to cook a little longer because still quite not done. So I already have my corn, and I already have made my broth and my chile too, so you also gonna have to do it really careful so it doesn't jump. Sometimes when I tell you there's many different ways to make menudo, some people like it white. I like it red. I don't like it white because I think the red gives it like a really good flavor. So we're just gonna stir it, cover it back, and we're gonna let it cook it for 1 more hour. We are going to fry the chile de árbol. Like we're gonna put plenty oil. This one it takes very short time, and we're gonna trying to make it like a little crunchy. You rinse it on, then you dry water and oil do not go together. But also make sure none of the seeds coming out, because the seeds make you sneeze really bad. So always trying to make sure the chile seals and no seeds coming out. This one you really have to pay attention when you put it in the oil, because it definitely doesn't take very long, just a few seconds, and it can definitely burn really quickly. Maybe less than 3 minutes as soon as you heat the oil, and also depends your stock. As you can see, this one is a little bit changed color, so it's ready to take them out. I'm just gonna take them all of it now. Okay guys, so my menudo has been cooking for 3 hours and a half minimum. You're going to need 3 hours and a half. And the trick that you're going to be looking is just you take the meat, and the meat is nice and soft. So I'm just gonna turn it off, and you can just let it for a little bit, and then it's ready to eat. My menudo is ready to eat. It's ready, so I'm just gonna teach you. I'm gonna give you a couple options, the things you guys can do. First, I have my oregano here. You can put as many as you want. I usually just grab a little with my fingers, put it in my hand, and then break it. If you don't like oregano, you don't have to use it. So you put some onions, cilantro. I fried this one with oil. So this one also too is really easy. Like if you like spicy, just break it out. I'm just gonna put the whole thing, but we'll see how that goes. Like sometimes this one can be a little spicy. From that, you can also put a little bit lime. I love lime. You can put as many or as little as you want. And that's pretty much how you serve it, how you eat it. That's it for this video. Hopefully it looks delicious. Hopefully you guys will give it a try. This is one of my subscribers request. Thank you for requesting. Hopefully I make it easy for you to follow. And also I know if you don't want to make as much, you can make half of it. But also this is really good. Like you can freeze it up to 3 months. And then whatever you feel and just pull it out. And you want to eat something more? So there you have it. So hopefully you give it a try. I'll give you a thumbs up and subscribe. Hasta la vista.